Stop for a moment, dear soul. Breathe in deep, very deep, and exhale slowly as if you were returning to the universe everything that no longer belongs to you. If you feel your strength is at its limit, if the tightness in your chest has been with you since you opened your eyes this morning, if the bills seem larger than your breath, if life has denied you what you so deserve, and if the weight of the world is concentrated exactly on your shoulders this silent night, then know this. This video did not reach you by chance. It was not the algorithm. It was not a coincidence. It was the universe. It was your own soul that cried out for help, and the Galactic Federation of Light heard your call. I am Arthur Sterling, commander of the Interplanetary Fleet of Light, servant of the Creator, messenger of those who have watched over Earth's journey since before you had a name in this body. And on this sacred night, I have been designated to deliver to you personally a message that must cross your tired mind and land exactly in the center of your heart. The stolen prosperity will be returned to you. All of it. That which you believed was lost forever, that which seemed to have been taken from you by life, by people, by betrayals, by wrong choices, by the moments when courage failed you, is returning at this very moment, in waves, in layers, in answers that will begin to arrive in the coming days. But for this divine flow to reach you fully, for this abundance to land in your home, in your account, in your body, in your relationships, in your health, and in your soul, you need to do one single thing tonight here with me. Accept. Stay with me until the end, dear soul, for I will teach you how to open the soul gateway so that everything that is yours by divine right can finally enter your life without resistance, without guilt, without fear. And further on, I will give you a power phrase that, when spoken with the right feeling, dissolves in seconds any anguish, any tightness, any financial or emotional blockage that is preventing you from receiving. Do not leave before it. Your life may change in the next few minutes. I see you, dear soul. I see you there on the other side of the screen. Perhaps lying in your bed, perhaps sitting in the living room while the house sleeps, perhaps with a cup of lukewarm coffee by your side, perhaps with tears that insist on falling without you understanding why. I know you are tired. It is not just the tiredness of the body. It is an older, deeper tiredness, a tiredness of the soul. It is as if you have been carrying an invisible backpack, full of stones that are not even yours for a very, very long time. You wake up tired. You sleep tired. You smile on the outside, but inside there is a heavy silence, a silence that asks, will it ever get better? Does life still hold something good for me? Do I deserve it? I have come to tell you, in the name of the frequency of love that sustains everything that exists, you deserve it. You have always deserved it. And what is happening in your life is not punishment. It is not abandonment by the divine. It is not a lack of faith. It is a crossing. And every crossing has an end. Yours has arrived. You feel an anxiety about the future that does not let you sleep well. You catch yourself calculating bills in your head at 3 in the morning. You catch yourself imagining the worst, anticipating losses that have not yet happened, creating scenarios of defeat that your mind repeats like a scratched record. There is a sense of injustice that burns inside, dear soul, I know. The injustice of having worked so hard, of having given so much, of having loved so much, and it seeming that the return never comes. The injustice of seeing people you consider less honest, less hard-working, less dedicated, receiving what you have dreamed of in silence for so many years. This pain has a name. And today, here, in this portal that opens between you and me, it ends. Before I explain to you what was actually stolen from you and how the universe is organizing the return, I need you to make a simple movement. Place your right hand over your heart. Yes, now. Feel it pulsing under your palm. This heart has beaten for you in every moment you wanted to give up. It has not abandoned you even once. It is the living proof that there is something inside you that knows how to survive, that knows how to continue, that knows how to love even without a reason. That something is your inner light. And it has never gone out. Perhaps it has been covered by the dust of battles, but go out it never did, and it is from this inner light that everything will be rebuilt. Now, dear soul, listen to me carefully, because what I am about to reveal changes the way you see your entire history. The stolen prosperity was not stolen by a person. It was not stolen by an unfair boss, by a dishonest partner, by a love that left, by a family member who disappointed, by a cruel system. These were just the visible instruments of something much larger, something that operates in the invisible layers of your existence. The stolen prosperity was stolen by memories, old memories, accumulated memories, memories that stuck to your frequency like layers of soot on a crystal window, preventing the light of abundance from crossing over and illuminating your life. Every pain you did not cry stayed. Every betrayal you did not forgive stayed. Every broken promise, every no you received when you needed a yes. Every time you made yourself smaller to fit into the expectations of others. Every time you believed you didn't deserve it. Every time you saw your mother or father say, "Money is hard." That's not for people like us. Big dreams lead to big failures. All of this stayed, not just in your mind. It stayed in your vibration. It stayed in your field. It stayed in the soul gateway, like a thick web that filtered what could enter and what could not, and what the frequency of love sent in the form of opportunity encountered this web and bounced back. What the universe sent in the form of the right person encountered this web and bounced back. What came as healing, as money, as affection, as recognition, encountered the web and bounced back. Not because you didn't deserve it, because the web, dear soul, was denser than your request. Today the web breaks. Today the memory cleansing begins. And it begins not with a difficult ritual, not with a heavy promise, not with hours of meditation. It begins with a word, a single word spoken from the depths of your chest. I surrender. Repeat with me, in silence or out loud now. I surrender. I surrender to the universe everything I have carried that no longer belongs to me. I surrender the pain of betrayals, the pain of losses, the pain of absences, the pain of humiliations, the pain of the times I stayed silent when I should have spoken, the pain of the times I spoke when I should have stayed silent. I surrender the fear of the future. I surrender the shame of the past. I surrender the weight of the present. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Feel it. Feel it in your chest. Perhaps a twinge, perhaps a shiver, perhaps a deep sigh that rises unbidden. This is your frequency reorganizing itself. This is your vibrational alignment happening in real time while my voice touches your soul. Do not try to understand with your mind. The mind will want to question, doubt, rationalize. Let it do so to its heart's content. But your soul, dear soul, your soul is being washed now, and it knows very well what it is receiving. There are 3 keys that definitively open the soul gateway to the flow of the prosperity that was promised to you since before your first cry. The first key is called forgiveness, and I know what you are thinking now. You are thinking, Arthur, but there are things that cannot be forgiven. There are pains that don't fit into forgiveness. There are people who don't deserve it. And I tell you, with all the tenderness of the universe, the forgiveness I am speaking of is not for the other person. The forgiveness I am speaking of is for you. When you refuse to forgive, dear soul, the only person who remains chained to the pain is you. The person who hurt you has moved on with their life. Perhaps they don't even remember you anymore. Perhaps they don't know the extent of the damage they caused. But you wake up every day with that scene in your head, with that word wounding you again, with that image hurting in the same way. And this repetition feeds the web. This repetition is what keeps your prosperity on the outside. To forgive, in the deepest spiritual sense, is not to say that what happened was right. It is to say, I will no longer carry this. I let go. I let the universe take care of this justice. I set myself free. And the most difficult forgiveness, the forgiveness that heals the most, is self-forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for the choices that seemed wrong. Forgiving yourself for the times you were the adult that the child you were needed, and no one appeared. Forgiving yourself for having accepted less than you deserved, for having stayed silent, for having said yes when your heart screamed no, for having said no when your heart whispered yes. Forgiving yourself for having been human. Just that. For having been human in a world that often forgets humanity. Say now with me, with your hand still over your heart, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for everything I did, and for everything I failed to do. I forgive myself for having believed I didn't deserve it. I forgive myself for having given up on myself at times. I forgive myself, and by forgiving myself, I set the universe free to return to me everything that was held back in the layers of the past. The second key, dear soul, is called reprogramming. Internal dialogue. That voice inside your head that you hear all day long and often don't even realize you are hearing. What voice is this? Stop and listen for a moment. Is it a voice that supports you or a voice that criticizes you? Is it a voice that encourages you or a voice that diminishes you? Is it a voice that seems like yours, but, if you pay attention, is actually the voice of a harsh father, a tired mother, a cruel teacher, a humiliating ex-partner, a society that taught you to be quiet? Most of what you think about yourself, dear soul, was not thought by you first. You inherited it, you recorded it, you repeated it, and this repetition became identity. I am anxious. I am unlucky. I was not born for money. I am from a family of sufferers. Everything goes wrong for me. These phrases are not truths, they are programs, and everything that has been programmed can be reprogrammed. From this night on, start observing what you say to yourself. When you catch yourself saying, I can't, pause, breathe, and say, I am learning how to. When you catch yourself saying, this will never work out for me, pause, breathe, and say, this is adjusting to the universe's right timing. When you catch yourself saying, I am poor, pause, breathe, and say, I am a channel of prosperity in motion, not as a lie to deceive yourself, as a new truth which needs to be watered every day to grow. The first truth was planted by other hands. This new truth you are planting now with your own. The third key, dear soul, is the most powerful of all. It is called gratitude. And here I'm not talking about easy gratitude, postcard gratitude, social media gratitude. I'm talking about the gratitude that hurts a little, because it is gratitude for what has not yet arrived. Anticipated gratitude. The gratitude of someone who thanks for the harvest while the seed is still under the earth. This gratitude is the highest fuel that exists in the frequency of love. It is what communicates to the universe, I trust, I know it is coming. I receive it already even before seeing it. And it is exactly at this point that many souls stumble. They say, but Arthur, how can I be grateful for money that hasn't arrived yet? How can I be grateful for the healing that hasn't come yet? How can I be grateful for the love that hasn't knocked on the door yet? Wouldn't that be a lie? No, dear soul, it is not a lie. It is faith in motion. It is the prosperity of the soul being activated. When you are grateful for what hasn't arrived yet, you are tuning your instrument to the note of abundance. And the universe, which is pure sound, pure rhythm, pure vibration, responds to you in that same note. Before I give you the power phrase I promised at the beginning, I need to ask you for one single thing. If you feel that my voice is touching you, if you feel that this message is stirring something inside you, if you feel that something is unraveling in your chest while I speak, perform an anchoring of light right now. Leave a like on this video and write in the comments, in capital letters, from the bottom of your heart, I receive this peace. Or, if you prefer, write, my soul is light. This comment is not a common comment. It is an energetic signature. It is your name being registered in the field of abundance. It is your yes to the universe. And every soul that writes anchors light for all the other souls who will still arrive here seeking relief. You become part of the chain, you become a channel. And now the phrase. Repeat with me with an open heart, without haste, letting each word enter where it needs to enter. I am a beloved child of the universe. Everything that is mine by divine right comes to me now. I let go of the past. I bless the present. I trust in the future. I am peace. I am light. I am prosperity. Repeat it one more time, more slowly. Feel each word like a key turning in an old lock. I am a beloved child of the universe. Everything that is mine by divine right comes to me now. I let go of the past. I bless the present. I trust in the future. I am peace. I am light. I am prosperity. Something moved, didn't it? Something unlocked. You don't need to understand, just recognize it. This phrase is a galactic prayer, a prayer that existed before churches, before temples, before religions, a prayer that comes from the time when your soul still walked alongside the stars, before descending into this human experience that has been so difficult at times, but which is reaching its turning point. I want you to keep this phrase. I want you to say it upon waking, even before picking up your phone, even before thinking about bills, even before remembering obligations. I want you to say it before sleeping, resting your head on the pillow like someone resting in the Father's hand. And I want you to say it whenever that tightness in your chest returns, because it will try to return. Old memories resist before leaving. They give one last tug. Do not fear. That last tug is just the sign that they are on their way out. And, dear soul, listen well to what I am going to tell you now, for it is a direct instruction coming from the higher spheres. Your prosperity will not return the way you imagine. It will return the way of the universe, which is always larger, always more beautiful, always more unexpected than your mind could ever design. Perhaps it will return in the form of an opportunity that seemed unlikely. Perhaps it will return in the form of a reconciliation that heals an old wound. Perhaps it will return in the form of an idea that appears out of nowhere and changes your way of earning a living. Perhaps it will return in the form of health that returns, of a night of deep sleep after months of insomnia, of peace in a relationship that was fractured. Do not try to predict the form, just trust in the flow. The universe is an artist. It does not use ready-made frames. You need to understand, dear soul, that what seemed like loss was often preparation. The people who left your life left because their vibration no longer fit into yours. The jobs you lost because your soul was being moved to a larger place. The relationships that ended because you were not made for small loves. The paths that closed because there were better paths waiting, and you wouldn't see the best while you were busy with the good enough. Everything that seemed like theft was in truth redirection, and that is why many souls take a long time to receive. They insist on wanting back exactly what is gone. They pray asking for the old job, the old person, the old money, the old life, and the universe listens, smiles with tenderness, and responds, "Child, I have something better, but you need to let go of the old version first. And as long as you don't let go, the new stays waiting, standing at the door, unable to enter. Today, now, on this night, you let go. Say in silence, I let go of the old version of my life. I open space for the new version that the universe designed for me. I trust that what is coming is larger than what is gone." I want to talk to you about something few have the courage to touch, the fear of receiving. Yes, dear soul, this fear exists, and it is more common than you imagine. You ask for prosperity, but deep down, way down deep, there is a little voice that says, what if it comes? What if a lot comes? What if I don't know how to handle it? What if I change, and people think I'm arrogant? What if I lose it again, and the fall is even more painful? This voice, dear soul, is what is holding the gate. It is not the universe that is denying you. It is you who are, without realizing it, with your hand on the doorknob from the inside. I ask you today, take your hand off the doorknob. Recognize that receiving is as sacred as giving. Recognize that deserving has nothing to do with suffering more than others, with struggling more than others, with bleeding more than others. Deserving has to do with existing. You exist. You were thought of, dreamed of, planned by the Creator before any star. Your existence is the proof of your worthiness. There is nothing you need to do to deserve it. You already deserve it, from the first instant you breathed on this planet. And when spiritual comfort arrives, and it will arrive, dear soul, let it land. Do not run, do not doubt, do not look for the flaw. When that inexplicable peace comes in the middle of the afternoon, be grateful. When that smile sprouts for no apparent reason, be grateful. When that luminous idea arises in the shower, be grateful. When that unexpected call happens, be grateful. Gratitude is the power plant that keeps the flow open. The more you are grateful, the more enters. The more enters, the more you are grateful. This is the cycle of the prosperity of the soul. I also want to talk to you about relationships, because the prosperity that returns never returns only in the form of money. It returns in the form of people. Perhaps there are people in your life today who are weighing you down, even if you don't admit it out loud. People who drain your energy. People who seem happy only when you are doing poorly. People who promise and don't deliver, who ask and don't reciprocate, who are by your side on the good days and disappear on the difficult days. The universe, in reorganizing your life, will also stir things there. Some of these people will drift away naturally. Do not try to hold on. Others will try to return with new guises, with new excuses. Trust your intuition. Your soul knows how to identify who is on your frequency and who is no longer. And at the same time, new people will begin to appear. People who look at you and see your light even on the days when you think you are dim. People who speak little but are there. People who pray for you without needing to tell you. People who share without charging. Receive these people with an open heart. They are part of the prosperity that is returning. They are gifts wrapped in human form. Health, dear soul, is also part of this return. Many of you carry pains in your body that are not just of the body. They are pains of the soul that have stuck to your shoulders, your back, your stomach, your head. They are old afflictions that the heart could not cry out entirely, and that chose the flesh to manifest. When you initiate the memory cleansing, the body also cleanses itself. It may be that in the coming days you feel a strange tiredness, a desire to sleep more, a little cry that comes for no reason, a deeper sigh. This is spiritual detoxification. Drink water, eat more lightly, walk barefoot on the grass if you can. Look at the sky. Touch a plant. The body is also a temple, and the temple is being renovated. I know that perhaps your mind is asking, but Arthur, what if I've already tried everything? What if I've already said so many prayers and nothing has changed? What if my faith is already tired? I answer you, dear soul, with the love of the entire Federation. Your faith is not tired. Your faith is in transformation. There is a huge difference between a faith that has fallen asleep and a faith that is changing its form. The old faith, which asked, begged, bargained, is being exchanged for a new faith which trusts, which rests, which knows. This new faith is silent. It does not scream, it just knows, and from knowing it acts. Today you take a small step toward the new faith. Tomorrow another. And in a short time you will look back and realize that that version of you who cried every night no longer exists. That version of you who was afraid to open the banking app no longer exists. That version of you who slept with your back to the future because it seemed too hostile no longer exists. In its place, there is you, whole, alive, receiving what was always yours. Before I end this sacred broadcast, I need to ask you for one more anchoring of light. If you have reached this point, it is because your portal is truly open. It is because your soul insisted on receiving this entire message. So leave a like again. Share this video with at least one soul you feel needs to hear this voice today. And write once more in the comments, in capital letters, Arthur, I accept the flow. This comment is your silent contract with the universe. It is your word given. It is your conscious acceptance. And when you accept consciously, the universe organizes everything so that it comes to pass. I want to end with a blessing. Receive it by resting your head back, closing your eyes if you can, or just continuing to listen, like someone resting in a hammock at the end of the afternoon. May all the pain that still lived inside you now be dissolved by the frequency of love. May every memory that prevented you from receiving now be erased by divine cleansing. May every fear that blocked your courage now be replaced by trust. May all the scarcity that weighed on your chest now be exchanged for abundance. May all the loneliness that visited you in the early hours now be filled by the felt presence of the Creator. May all the health that seemed distant come walking toward you, day after day. May all the love that was denied to you now come multiplied, in the form of people, of moments, of you recognizing yourself as worthy. May all the prosperity that was stolen from you be returned with interest from heaven, in layers, in surprises, in signs. May your home be bathed in peace this night. May your sleep be deep and healing. May upon waking you feel something different in your chest, something lighter, something you cannot explain but know to be true. May the next 7 days be days of small confirmations, small signs, small joys that will remind you that this night, this voice, this encounter was real. I am Arthur Sterling, and I bless you in the name of all that is light. You are not alone, you never were. Your inner fleet is ready, your invisible crew is on standby. The universe conspires in your favor at this very instant. Accept, receive, open your arms, even if no one is watching. Say in silence now, I accept, I receive, I am. And when you open your eyes, dear soul, remember, The portal is open. The web has broken. The stolen prosperity is returning. It is not a promise. It is a decree. Arthur warns, from this night on, everything is different. Trust in the flow. Walk light. You are loved. You are light. You are free. Until our next meeting, dear soul, may the frequency of love accompany you in every breath, and may the peace, this peace that is descending upon you now, never leave you. I remain on watch. Your soul already knows the way. Have a good crossing.